Hi, and welcome to this coloring page exercise. Today I will be using some crayons. I have a lot of crayons here, but you don't need to have this many. I think there are 150 in here. There's a lot of colors. So I'm going to be coloring in my letters with crayons, and for every line I'm going to pick two different colors. So let's go in rainbow order. There's a lot of reds to choose from. This was the first one I saw. This one's called Wild Strawberry. So I'm going to go on the insides of the letters and color in the top half with red. Like this. I like to rotate my paper sometimes as I go. I'm writing on top of wood, so I'm getting a little bit of this cool texture inside of the letters that looks like wood. But if I didn't want that texture, then I could put some pieces of paper behind this paper to help provide a barrier so that I don't get so much of the wood texture. So that's what I'm going to do. If you're writing on a smooth surface, the letters will look smoother. And if you're writing on something more rough, you can get some rough texture, which in some ways you might want to introduce some sort of texture. But I'm just going on the tops of my letters like this. Starting at the top, going down. And the more slowly you go, the more careful you can be and try to stay inside the lines. Some of these areas get a little bit tight. So depending on the way that you hold the crayon, you might find that it's easier to get a thinner line if you tilt the crayon differently, because it can be sharper on certain sides. There's lots of little crumbs of crayon, so I don't want to brush it with my hand because I don't want to accidentally draw with those crumbs, like this. But maybe later, afterwards, I can tap my paper and try to get some of those pieces away. Okay. Coloring with crayons can be very relaxing. Okay, so we've got the top half of these letters done. Let's just put this one down so I can remember which color it was. I'll just put it over here. Next, we want to choose an orange. There's lots of oranges in here. This one looks nice. This one is called Sun Glow. So I'll use Sun Glow on the bottoms of these letters, like this. And as I reach the point where the red is already inside the color, I can still draw over that, and then it will make it look like they're blending a little bit because we are layering the color. So putting a small layer of orange on top of red will make that area where the layers are overlapping look reddish orangish. You can overlap it just a little bit, or you can go back over a larger area to overlap and see what you like best. Some colors might overlap a little bit better than others. Okay. So we're getting towards the end of this line. So for my next line of letters, I'm going to start with yellow and then go to green. Okay, just try to gently wipe away some of those pieces. Okay, let's start with yellow. This one looks nice. This one is called Dandelion. So we'll do the same thing. We're just going to start at the top of the letters, color it in. This is a really pretty looking yellow. It's very bright. And we're just going to keep going throughout the whole line. Doing the same thing, coloring the tops of the letters, leaving the bottom white for now. Like this. It kind of looks like my orange up here is a little bit too light, like I maybe want it to be a little bit darker. Let's see what this orange would look like if I put it on top. This one's Neon Carrot. This one is Vivid Tangerine. I think I like this one. Let me just see what this looks like if I go over it to see if it makes it look any darker. Not really. Let's try a darker orange. Maybe this one. Oh, this one's just called Orange. Orange like the fruit or the color. Okay, that one looks a little bit better. This one looks darker. So it goes a little bit better with the red color that we have. And creativity in art is a process, so it doesn't matter if you get it right on your first try, and there's really no right or wrong anyway in art. But you can make adjustments as you go, just like I'm doing here. I decided that the orange wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be, so I'm going back over it. And I like how this looks. I think it looks really pretty. Okay, so now we can move on to green. Let's try to find a green that might go well with our yellow. Let's see what this one is called. Oh, this one's called Yellow Green. That sounds perfect. Let's go over the bottom half of these letters. So this technique is a lot of fun, making the letters two different colors, because you almost get a blended effect when you overlap them. So even though we're only using two different colors for the letters, like here we had the yellow and now we're adding the yellow green, the areas that they overlap will become almost a third color, like a combination of the two. So it makes it look like a smooth transition from one color into the next. Some of these areas that are smaller, if you're having trouble staying inside of the lines, you can try sharpening the crayon. Making it sharper or more pointy at the end might help you get a thinner line. If you don't have a pencil sharpener or a crayon sharpener, you could take your crayon. Let me see if I have an extra piece of paper. You could take your crayon and draw pretty hard on one side, try to make it sort of flat to the paper, and then do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay. Do you see how that sharpened it a little bit? So that can be a creative way of making your crayon sharper so that you can fit it inside of all of the lines. Or if it goes outside of the lines, that's no big deal. Okay, now what's the next color? We want to do something that's in between green and blue. Let's see what this one's called Robin's Egg Blue. It's a nice color. So I will do the same technique. Coloring the tops of the letters. So if you are following along, I would love to know if you are enjoying this project and if you're using the same colors as I am or if you're using different colors. You could even do the same color combination on each of the lines. So for example, if you really like how the pink and orange look together, you could do pink and orange on all of the words. Or if you only have 2 crayons, you might do the same color for all of the lines if that's all you have. And that can look really beautiful as well. All right, let's see what this one, ooh, I think this one has a little bit of glitter inside. It's called, oh yeah, Crayola Metallic. It's a bedazzle blue. Interesting. I like the glitter inside. So this is a really pretty quote, a really meaningful quote that you can think about. The quote is, "A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer, it sings because it has a song." And I think that's true for art as well. You don't have to do art to answer a problem. You can do art because there's something inside of you that you want to share, or you just want to be creative. Or a lot of people use art as a way to relax. Like this. This is a really relaxing activity. Okay, so we're done with half of these lines. So we have a couple of options here. Since we're almost down to the end of the rainbow, we just have purple left. We could either start with purple and then continue with the rainbow. So basically we would be starting back at the top with pink and orange and then going down from there. Or we could do an effect to give this almost like a reflection, where instead of making, let's just start with this line, instead of making the robin's egg blue at the top and this blue at the bottom, we can switch it. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to reverse the order and go backwards now. So if you have your supplies lined up like this, now, oh, we took away this orange before. So now instead of going down the rainbow, we're going back up it. Okay, so we'll just start, we'll do the same thing, start with the tops of the letters, but then the next color that we use will be what was used at the top of the letter before it, but now it'll be the bottom. It makes sense. This is where the creativity can start to come in. You can do things the same way that you did them at the top, or you can flip the order, or you can do something totally different. But I think this is going to look really neat using the colors in the reverse order. Okay, so now we are starting with the green at the tops of these. Are you having fun with this activity? I hope you're enjoying it. You don't even have to limit yourself to crayons for this one. You could use colored pencil or markers. I probably wouldn't use paint because unless you use paper that's a bit thicker. Okay, we're back to the yellow now, which means we're almost done because we're almost back to the beginning of the rainbow. So I like to do, the way that I've been doing it so far is all of the green at once and then all of the yellow. But if you really wanted to, I'll show you on the next line. You could go back and forth between the colors for every word or even every letter. Okay, so here we're starting with orange. So what I mean is instead of finishing this letter and then doing orange on all of the rest of them, you could just finish the orange and the red before moving on to the next letter or word, like this. So we do orange and then red and go back and forth. It's up to you. I think I like doing all of them at once, all of the orange, and then going back and doing all of the red, or the second color, just so that I don't accidentally forget a letter. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, I really like how this one is turning out. So just a challenge for you. Number one, try to think about what this quote means to you. And number two, try doing this project with either a different color selection or different supplies or a different technique. Maybe instead of changing 2 colors inside of the letters, you can use 3 colors inside, or maybe you could make every letter its own color, or just try to be creative with how you use your colors and how they fit together to form the whole piece. I hope you enjoyed using this coloring page, and I would love to see your work if you want to share it with us. We always love seeing your work and seeing your creativity and art come to life, so please share it with us. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.